Hey, y'all. We are here at our housing seminar, Ohio Housing Finance Agency Empower One 2023 event. And we have friends that are going to be doing some really great presentations. And I have our guy, John Dewey, here of the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, aka OHFA. Let them know your role and, real quick, what they can expect out of your presentation today.
So I'm the Ohio Housing Single Family Relations Manager, and I present all over the state on our home buyer programs and down payment assistance. So I'll be talking about our down payment assistance, mortgage interest rate discounts, and mortgage tax credits for first-time home buyers. So to get into a house.
All right, well, listen, it's about to get really good, okay, with some information that you don't want to miss. So enjoy.
Hello, this is Jonathan Dewey with the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and today I'm going to cover OHFA homebuyer programs and down payment assistance. If you have any questions after this video, feel free to email me at jdewey@ohiohome.org. Again, that's jduy@ohiohome.org. Three important items to know about OHFA. Our funds are always available. Our homeownership programs can be used anywhere in the state of Ohio, and not all lenders, banks, or mortgage companies are OHFA participating lenders. So listed at our website, myohiohome.org, we have about 115 lenders that participate in our programs. So how do OHFA homebuyer programs work? Well, one, the homebuyer contacts an OHFA-approved lender for an eligibility review. If the homebuyer qualifies, they'll choose the loan program that best fits their needs. And then three, the homebuyer goes through the normal home buying process with a real estate agent. OHFA participates in all the major types of loans, so conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA. The minimum down payment requirement for conventional loans is 3%, FHA 3.5%, and then VA and USDA are zero down loans. Here are the two big eligibility requirements, and that's our income limits and then our credit score. Now, there are additional eligibility requirements, but here are the two big ones. And so the maximum income limits for Cuyahoga County for a 1 to 2 person family is $102,480. For a 3 or more person family, it's $119,560. Now, if you're not purchasing a house in Cuyahoga County, so if you're looking in a different county, you would just go to our website, myohiohome.org, and just click on the income and purchase price limits, and you can see what the income limits are for the county that you would like to purchase a house in. The minimum credit score is FHA 650, and then conventional USDA and VA is 640. Again, FHA 650, conventional USDA and VA is 640. So our most popular program is the 5% Your Choice Down Payment Assistance. This is 5% of the purchase price towards down payment, closing costs, and any other prepaid expenses incurred prior to closing. The homebuyer's interest rate will be slightly higher than OHFA standard mortgage rates, and the homebuyer cannot sell the house for 7 years. Otherwise, they'd have to pay back the entire down payment assistance. Now, the homebuyer can refinance through OHFA's refinance program, but again, you have to wait a full 7 years to sell the house. Otherwise, you have to pay back the entire down payment assistance. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say somebody was purchasing a $100,000 house. They're using an FHA loan, which is a 3.5% down payment requirement, and they're getting OHFA's 5% Your Choice down payment assistance. So that's $5,000 in this example. They're going to do 3.5% towards the down payment, 1.5% towards the closing costs, and the approximate out-of-pocket funds for down payment and closing costs would be about $4,000 to $5,000. And this is based on about $5,500 in closing costs. Now, it's going to depend on each lender's costs are going to be different. So keep that in mind that this is just an approximate. The seller is willing to, if the seller is willing to contribute money towards the buyer's closing costs, they could get into the house with little to no money out of pocket. Conventional loan example, so 3% down payment requirement in this example. Again, a purchase price of $100,000, and the approximate out-of-pocket funds here would be again between $4,000 and $5,000, and this is based on about $5,500 in closing costs. But again, the home buyer is just going to check with their mortgage lender for the exact costs. The next program is the Ohio Heroes. This is for those that work in critical occupations. They get a slightly lower interest rate than our standard mortgage interest rates. And this is for full-time employees in the following professions: veterans, active duty military, members of the reserve components, and that includes a surviving spouse, police officers, firefighters, volunteer firefighters, EMTs and paramedics, physicians, nurse practitioners, nurses, and this includes RNs, LPNs, and STNAs, and then pre-K through 12 teachers, administrators, and counselors. Again, if they work in one of these critical occupations, they get a slightly lower interest rate than our standard mortgage interest rates. The 5% grants or grads, this is for those that have graduated college within the last 48 months or 4 years with an associate's, bachelor's, master's, or doctorate degree. The benefit of grants or grads is that as long as the home buyer stays within a house for the first 5 years, they do not have to pay back the down payment assistance, even if they sell or refinance the property. So I'll say that again, as long as the home buyer stays within a house for the first 5 years, even if they sell or refinance the property, they do not have to pay back the grants or grads assistance. So a similar example again, FHA loan, $100,000 purchase, 3.5% down payment requirement. The approximate out-of-pocket funds in this example for the grants or grads would be about $4,000 to $5,000 that the home buyer would have to bring to closing. Conventional loan, again, similar example. Again, the approximate out-of-pocket funds is going to be between $4,000 and $5,000. Now, if you're a first-time home buyer, there's something called the first-time buyer mortgage tax credit. And what it does is it provides a maximum $2,000 credit per year for the entire life of the loan when using an OHFA loan. And the intent of this tax credit is to help home buyers afford home ownership by putting more of their own money back in their pocket and paying less federal income taxes. Now, it's really important the buyer has to request this tax credit when applying for the mortgage loan, so when they're going through the loan process. If a home buyer already closed on a house and didn't request this tax credit, they unfortunately would not be able to get it. They have to request it when going through the loan process. And they have to be using an OHFA-approved lender. Let's say a home buyer made $35,000 in income and they owe about $3,000 in federal income taxes. And they're getting this mortgage tax credit of $2,000. So $3,000 minus $2,000, their total federal income taxes now due would be $1,000. If a home buyer claimed this credit for the first 10 years on a mortgage, that would be a savings of $20,000 in federal income taxes. So it's a significant amount of money that home buyer could be saving by using this program. Now, this is a life of the loan tax credit. So I just put 10 years here as an example because that's the average time that a home buyer stays in their house before selling and moving on to their next property. But again, if somebody stayed in the house for, let's just say 30 years, they could keep claiming this credit throughout the entire life of the mortgage. The last program here is the Next Home program. This is for those that are not first-time home buyers. They can receive 2.5% down payment assistance to help them get into a home. Most of the eligibility criteria is the same as the first-time home buyer program. They're just not first-time home buyers. Let's take a look at how we can stack a couple of these programs together. You could do the first-time home buyer program with the 5% Your Choice down payment assistance, or the first-time home buyer program with the 2.5% Your Choice down payment assistance mortgage tax credit plus. So this is just a couple of examples on our website, myohiohome.org. There's a link that shows all the different ways you can stack these programs together. Here are the first steps to purchase a home. So step one would be to get pre-qualified with an OHFA-approved mortgage lender. So you're going to go to our website, myohiohome.org, click on Getting Started, and then find a lender. If you qualify, you're going to obtain that pre-qualification letter And what this does is it shows that you're a serious buyer to a potential seller. So when you're going to look at a house and you decide to submit an offer on a house, you're going to attach this pre-qualification letter to that offer that your real estate agent writes for you. And this just shows the seller that, again, that you are a serious buyer and you have the financial capability of purchasing that home. And then 3, just search for a home with a real estate agent. A real estate agent can explain the entire home buying process in great detail. If you need help improving your credit, so maybe you saw our credit scores and you're thinking my credit score wouldn't meet your requirements, we always recommend, if you need help improving your credit, to contact a HUD-approved counseling agency. That's HUD.gov. You can go to their website and find one of their counseling agencies, and they can give you advice on improving your credit. Finally, again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My email is jdewey@ohiohome.org. Thank you.